This is what we do every week, helping people out, diving a little bit deeper in that, talking about clearing, cleansing some of those things from your bodies, from your energy.
This is more my space. So Zac's more real estate space. I'm more in the energetics. And
you should listen to her because she's really freaking smart when it comes to these things.
He is like the happiest, most positive person that I know. So much so I'm like, is this real? But it is.
I'm an expert in creative finance. Love creative finance. Talk to Face Off about that and all the wonderful things with that. Mindset and raising private capital.
I'm an energy healer. I teach intuitive development and spiritual mentor. And I help people learn about themselves and how to use their energy and the energy around them to create realities that they really enjoy and want.
Whatever comes up for you guys. That's the point. That's the beauty of you guys showing up here live for everything, is that we want to answer your questions. We want to dive deeper into your examples. We want to help you specifically. Hey there, everyone.
Hello.
Hello, hello. Happy Monday, and welcome to the Energetic Alignment and Mindcast podcast. Mindcast, mindset, whatever it is. It's with your mind. We're making it better. It's a mindcast. Check that out. New word. Pretty cool, right?
It is.
Yeah. So happy Monday. Hope everyone's having a great Monday, enjoying this. We're going to have a lot of fun today. We've got some good stuff, some nuggets we're going to drop on you. 5 nuggets specifically that are really going to shake up your world, help you out, and just make you have a better life, because that's one of the things that I'm always striving for. We're always striving for together. And that's one of the things I love about her. But yeah, she also, both of us love helping other people out and making their lives even better. So we show up every Monday ready to do that. So if you guys, most Mondays, every Monday, we'll see. I don't know about this. Most Mondays, unless we're hit by something or another.
Or I go into labor.
Or she goes into labor. That's actually a good point. Yeah.
We're traveling on a Monday.
We might have to do something about that. But yeah, anyone that is here and listening or watching afterwards, feel free, comment below. You can interact with us. We love seeing people affecting their lives. So yeah, love this stuff. Energetic alignment. If anyone is new to this and wondering, hey, what the heck is this energetic alignment thing? I know mindset, but what's energetic alignment? Well, just to summarize, it's really when our mind, our body, and our spirit, they all sync up together and we feel completely aligned in our lives. Everything just feels easy. We're not feeling any stress and anything. You can tell because you feel like you're having an awesome day. And it's not any different than any other day that you're having. You can be working, you can be making money, you can be running groceries, you can be making dinner, working out, but you just feel perfectly aligned with everything around you and you just feel like things clicking, things are happening, right? And we're not in that funk that we can all get into sometimes. So that's why we like to say energy before action, so you can get yourself out of your head, make it nice, clear, so that you can attract all that happiness that you want, all that success, all that awesomeness that we can have together. That's what we're going to teach you, is give you a couple more tools today. 5 tools, actually. 5 more tools today. Hacks even. I like hacks. There you go. Thanks, honey. Hacks, she says. I like that. So, so let's dive in. Let's get you to the juicy meat of it and get something, squeeze something out of her brain, distill it down to something you want to drink and you love to make you feel better. Right?
Yeah.
Awesome. So what are we talking about today, honey?
Today we're talking about mindset hacks that can help you shift your energy. And these will be helpful for anyone who is in just a period of like stuckness or heaviness.
Been there.
Or things are moving slow or
stress.
Yeah, you're feeling a little stressed or anxious. And it might feel like your world is kind of spinning in circles and you can't, hey, Carolyn.
Hey.
And you can't like figure out like where to put your feet down. Okay, because you can't figure out where the floor is exactly. Have you ever felt like that, where it's just like, oh my gosh, I have so much going on that like I don't even know which way is up, which way is left, right? It's like when you play the game Dizzy Bat just came to mind.
Oh, yeah.
I
Hate that game.
If you're under 21, you probably haven't played, or maybe you have played that. But when you're spinning in circles, then you have to like go and I don't know. I guess maybe there's a non-alcoholic.
Yeah, no one mentioned alcohol until you.
Well, I guess we play with alcohol.
Someone's got this big bun in the oven down
college.
here, and she's just itching to have a margarita again when Baby Mav pops out.
Yeah, I don't drink a lot, but I do really like margaritas.
So yeah,
But, okay.
mindset shifts, everybody. 5 of them, right? To realign your energy and excite you again when sometimes you could be brought down. Stress, anxiety,
Yeah, and something that can happen is when we get into a funk or we get into one of those slower moving periods of life where it just feels like we're kind of just moving through the muck, we're moving through the heaviness, things aren't really taking off, we're not really feeling like super excited about much because there's not much going on and we're just kind of like that aimless wanderer, it can feel like at times, or we're just so stressed and overwhelmed we don't know what to focus on, so then it's just like you're still an aimless wanderer, you're just on the opposite side of the spectrum. Like someone doesn't have any motivation to really do anything, someone has so much to do that both parties don't know what to do, right?
Can someone use these hacks if they're already feeling good to feel better?
Yeah, we'll talk about it.
Okay, cool.
But
so lots of possibilities.
Yeah,
then.
because
I'm always looking to get just a little bit more.
We always want to get better, but like even when you're evolving and elevating your life, there's still going to be these periods. Right. So it doesn't mean like when we have these periods, it doesn't mean that you're like regressing. It doesn't mean you're going backwards. And that's actually one of the first hacks is to shift the way you're looking at this time period in your life and ask yourself, if the universe was trying to bring something into my focus, if I'm being made aware of something in my life that I've been overlooking. Maybe I've been too busy and I haven't noticed it. Maybe I'm just not focused on it. But if the universe was bringing something into my focus, into my awareness, what would it be? What would that be? Because what happens is when we are on the brink of, in like coaching, like spirituality terms, an up level, AKA when we're on the brink of growth, of expansion, of pushing past our comfort zone, right? When we're on the brink of moving into that next level of maybe the money that you're about to bring in or the deals that you're about to do with people or the relationships that you're about to have, then we can naturally go into this period of slowness. And it's almost, it can feel like a regression, but it's not. It's just, it's giving us an opportunity to identify any parts of us that are still resonating with this old way of being and that are not going to be supportive with the new way of being, right? So that could be beliefs, could be emotions, it could be people in our life, patterns, cycles, any of that. So this first hack is to really get intimate with yourself and get curious and ask yourself, okay, if the universe, if God, if my higher power was trying to bring something into my awareness right now, what would that be? What are the patterns here? How am I feeling on a regular basis? What are the thoughts that are being generated? All of these questions we can ask ourselves to become detectives when we get in that like lull period or that ebb. Life is full of ebbs and flows. It's not a bad thing, but we don't want to make the ebbs a bad thing, right? We want to learn to flow within the ebb because we can. And it's knowing that, okay, right now I am in a slower period of life. Things are moving slower. Things aren't really happening as fast. What am I being presented with the opportunity to focus on instead? Okay.
You're given that pause so that you can figure out exactly what way you want to go, and you can go there wonderfully.
Yeah, and sometimes we're being forced. Hey, Tammy, sometimes we're being forced to really sit down and self-reflect and ask ourselves, like, how have I been showing up? is what's going on in my life really in alignment with where I want to go? Maybe it's been in alignment to what's gotten me here. But if it hasn't, if it has, wonderful. But is where I want to go, is it going to support me moving into that space? Because sometimes that's different. Sometimes things are in alignment for a certain period of time. And something that's coming to mind is even like relationships or jobs. We can think that leaving a relationship or leaving a job or even getting fired from a job, we can think of it as a failure. Or we can think of it as, okay, this was an alignment to get me through this period of my life to help me learn these lessons. It's no longer in alignment anymore.
Heck yeah.
So now I'm being freed, my space and my energy is being freed up so I can move into this next phase of alignment.
Yeah.
Right?
So it's like we're going up, but then we plateau.
Yeah, you can
and then you just that's that pause that allows you to regroup everything, collect. You should say thank you that there's a little pause in your life, right?
No, exactly.
And then that can get you ready to just skyrocket again and do some more growth.
And a really good way to think of this is like when I think most of us have driven a car or have a vehicle. And so when we are driving a car and like a light pops on our dashboard, change oil soon, check engine, low tire pressure, we don't get mad at our car for turning the light on to let us know that something is off.
Maybe
something
we
needs
do.
attention.
Like just a little bit. Like that stupid check engine light or that stupid.
Only if it's near an e-check. If you need to get an e-check.
Right.
I'm like, dang
it. That's right. So yeah, we can get a little mad at these things. But yeah, we don't have that for ourselves. Do we?
So
we don't have any heads up display that says
this is what it is. So like when we have that dashboard, we're like, oh, something needs attention.
Mm-hmm.
So I can continue to move forward with my car. Right. So it's like, it's using that clue, using that information as input as, okay, something needs my attention. Something needs addressed that I wasn't paying attention to until this light flashed on. Same thing when we enter that lull or that period of slowness or muckiness or stickiness. It doesn't mean that like, oh, I'm so out of alignment. I'm like, I don't know what's happening. And I'm guilty of this too, thinking like, I'm so out of alignment. I don't know what's happening. I don't know what steps to take, whatever story we tell ourselves. But we can instead say, okay, my dashboard is telling me something. There's a light on my dashboard. So now it's my job to figure out what that light is and figure out what I need from that. Mm-hmm. Right. And then do it. And that's all it is. And it's like, thank you, universe, for giving me this time to break through this cycle, break through this pattern, to shift this behavior, to feel this emotion, to shift this limiting belief, to complete this relationship with this person, whatever it is. Right. So exactly what you said, babe, like bringing in that gratitude is a really great way to close out this hack, I guess.
Yeah. That sounds nice.
Yeah.
Yeah. So nice pause, a nice collection of thoughts, kind of like what I do at the end of some projects when I was an engineer. It's kind of like the lessons learned that we've had. How can we improve for the next time and just, get ready for the next battle, if you will. Or if you're in SWAT and you're like, you do a post SWAT, we just shot up this whole thing and got all these bad guys. Like, what could we have done better? But just get ready, mentally prepare yourself for that next thing that you're going to achieve, that next battle maybe, but that next stretching of your mind and of everything just to achieve that next level. Because every level, like you said, it's going to bring some new pains because we're trying something new, and that's totally cool. If you're feeling any of these pains, then you're probably not trying to push yourself a little bit hard enough. You're staying in that comfort zone. So just feel okay and feel happy that you're reaching some of these barriers where there's some pushback. That's totally okay. Right? If it's really pushing you back too far, where you start to feel lots of tightness in your body in some place or another, that might be a different thing. Your body might be sending you those little warning signs like the car that says, hey,
that's when it would probably be good to reach out for support.
Yeah, that's what I do. Whenever I get something tight or something in here, I'm like, hey, babe, come on, you need to help me. Let's get through this thing, right? Yeah.
He's waiting until his dashboard is like flashing lights at him. Like
that might be true.
Shit needs attention.
I'm like,
now.
I got 3 more tires. I'm good. What are you talking about? We're good to go. Yeah. So don't do that, guys. Please get it before you're completely driving a busted up, janky, broken down vehicle of a body and soul. Like that's where that stress and anxiety, I mean, literally that's where that stress, anxiety, all those things, they'll end up manifesting in your body in disease. Ask me how I know. Don't do that. Like, stop that. You know, reach out to lots of people, whoever you can, and just get some good answers, some good support. We love giving support.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay. Ready
Hack
for the
number
second
2?
mindset
Yeah.
hack. Yes.
Give us another one, baby.
So this is actually one of my favorite hacks. And this came to me a few years ago. I was at an event called the Summit of Greatness.
Love
and
that.
yeah, I took Zac last year. He loved it. And I met this girl. She was a wonderful singer. And at one of the events in the evening, she was asked to sing in front of everybody. But she was so nervous and so scared. She came up to me and she's like, I don't know if I can do this. I don't know if I can. She was feeling her anxiety. She was feeling all the jitters. She was feeling all the fear of judgment, rejection. What are they going to think of me? What if I mess up? Everything that we all go through when we're about to do something that we love or we like know will benefit us, but it's new, right? It's new and it's scary.
Comment below if you've ever tried something new and been so darn scared of it that it
you almost
just
talked
stopped
yourself
you.
out of it.
Yeah. Let us know if you actually did do that thing in the end and how you felt, or if you didn't do that thing in the end and how you felt.
Yes. And you are preluding me into this hack. And that is to ask yourself, what we typically ask ourselves is, how do I feel right now? How do I feel right now? Do I want to do this right now?
Yeah, that's true.
Like, based on my feeling, do I want to do this right now?
But that's a bad question.
Typically what we ask ourselves. Yes.
Yeah.
Instead, what I told her, I was like, tune in to the version of you that just finished singing. How does she feel? And then tune into the version of you that didn't sing. How does she feel? And she ended up singing and she came back out to me. She was like, I'm so grateful that we had this conversation because I asked myself that question and I couldn't not sing. Right. And everyone loved her, of course. But we do this on a daily basis. We know we're supposed to get some work done. We're supposed to do stuff around the house, or maybe we made plans with someone. But in the moment, we're like, oh, do I really feel like doing this? Do I really feel like sitting at my desk? Do I really feel like talking to my boss? Do I really feel like going to the grocery store, even though our fridge is bare? It's not about how you feel in the moment. No. How are you going to feel after you do the thing? That is the hack. It's a simple shift in the question. Not how do I feel right now, but how will I feel after?
It's funny how just changing the wording up of things, of how we talk to other people, how we talk to ourselves. So changing the wording up and we get different results at the end of the day. But a lot of times we don't think about changing the wording up in our mind when we're asking ourselves things like that. And just as simple as this, like, how will I feel after I do this thing? Or what if I didn't do this thing? Like, how would think about that? Like, how would I feel about that? But more importantly, we're probably trying to do these things because they're in alignment with that person that we're becoming in the future. It's just we're not necessarily brave enough to take that last jump off the diving board. We'll go all the way. We'll stand in line. We'll get right next, and we'll be right there. But then sometimes it'll be like, oh no, that's too tall. That's too wet. That's too slippery. That's too. I've seen people fall before. All these different things will get in our mind. But at the end of the day, don't you just want to run and do a cannonball into that water? I mean, how good would you feel afterwards? Like, all your friends, they're clapping, they're cheering. Yeah, good job. You know, it's like, you didn't have to do the best cannonball in the world. All you have to do is frickin' jump and splash. That's going to happen
and then
regardless.
Typically after you jump, you feel so excited,
you do.
So liberated. And then if you, I know I've been on both sides. I've walked back down the ladder and then I feel like so contracted and so shy. And it like totally dictates my experience for the rest of the time versus jumping off of the diving board. And then you feel so excited. You make new friends. People are cheering for you. It feels so good. Yeah, that is what we do. We make our decisions in the present moment based on how we feel in the present moment. And how we feel in the present moment is an accumulation of the actions that we've taken and the beliefs that we've thought and the feelings that we felt up until the present moment.
Yeah.
So the present moment, the present moment is just a snippet of all of the past up until now.
Hmm.
So if we're continuing to take action from this same energy, we're going to continue to get what we have gotten. And so in order to change that, we have to ask ourselves, how am I going to feel after I do this? The version of me that did do this action, or the version of me that didn't take this action, how do each of them feel? And which one feels the lightest? Which one feels the most expansive? Which one feels the most excited? Then do that action. Let that feeling, let that visualization, let that connection guide you into taking that action.
And there's something that you said there that I just want to back up and play again, just because it's so important. Where we are right now in our life is a sum of everything that we've done up until this point, of the person that we are, the decisions that we've made. And yet, if we're trying to do something new, stretch out there, doesn't that make sense that we're going to have to feel new emotions? We're going to have to try new things, and good golly, we might not be so amazing at them anymore. So that's going to make us feel probably not as good. So just know you're going to have to do these new things in order to achieve these new results in your life. It's just, how do we get over those little roadblocks? And this is a wonderful one. Literally asking yourself, instead of asking, do I want to do this thing right now? I don't know. It's a little whatever. You're going to start thinking about the reasons why you don't want to necessarily do that, and just asking how you feel afterwards. Like, yeah, the highest and best version of me does these things with ease. Like, they're an expert cannonballer that splashes everybody in the world, right? And everyone loves it. And the people that don't love it, they're like, I don't like it. But they still kind of like it, because, like, come on, you're by a pool and you're having a good time, right? So yeah, just feel into that. And that's a wonderful one, and I've used that when I have not wanted to do something. And it's like, whoa. Why do I not want to do this? And just, how will I feel after I did this thing? And if that answer is I'm going to feel great, and yet I'm resisting doing that thing, it's like, okay, shut up and just do that thing, right? Like, instead ask, how many ways can I get myself excited to now do this thing? And you just start thinking of more ways, and maybe enlisting someone else. It's like, okay, now you've tipped me over the edge. I'm going to go do this thing right now.
Yeah. And something to also keep in mind is, if you decide to take an action and then, like, you don't like how you feel, or maybe you're like, well, I just don't want to do it, right? I'm just not going to do it. Or I am going to do this. I am going to do this other thing. Then don't beat yourself up if the decision led you to feeling a little less than your best. Don't beat yourself up. Just take that as data. Take that as information. Be like, okay, now I know next time I'm going to say yes, or I'm going to do things differently. That's all that you can do, because I'm thinking of times where I've known, like, okay, my highest self probably would do this, but in the moment I'm looking for an out, so I'm just not going to do it.
Yeah.
And then, but I felt like crap afterwards. But then I didn't stay in that energy of feeling like crap. I'm like, okay, well, I feel like crap for not doing that, but what can I do right now? Right. So I've already made that decision. Now I can allow this decision to barrel me down a road of sorrow and self-pity, or I can say, okay, I can take responsibility for my decision, and then say, all right, what can I do now to shift my energy and get me back into that aligned feeling, right? Which is actually the third hack that I wanted to trickle us into. And that is, you don't have to wait until you're in alignment to take action. And sometimes it's the action that causes the alignment, not the other way around. We think that, whoa, once I feel like I'm in alignment, or once I feel really good, then I'm going to do the thing. No. It's doing the thing that creates the feeling. It's taking the action that generates the alignment.
Okay, hold on a second. We're going to have to back this one up, because a lot of time we're saying energy before action, right? Yet this time you're saying action to get the energy. So help us understand.
Okay, so this is a momentum then. This is like a momentum building situation.
I see. Okay.
So if you're not feeling in alignment, like for an example, me thinking of that past decision that I made when I felt like crap afterwards, but I'm like, okay, well, I don't want to stay here for the whole day. I was not feeling in alignment, but I'm not going to let that energy dictate the rest of my day. So in order to get out of that, because then I would be building momentum towards that negative feeling, right? So to get out of that, I have to take action that then gets me one step closer to feeling in alignment. So that's when you would just sit and you would ask yourself, okay, what do I have control over right now? I have control over how I feel, what I think, and what I do. And that's it. I don't have control over anybody else. I don't have control over anybody else's decisions. I don't have control over what's going to happen next. I only have control over what I do in the next moment. So my action can then contribute to more energetic momentum in this direction down self-pity lane, or my action can contribute to me getting closer to my aligned self, right? So that's kind of where I'm coming from is, so then I asked myself, I'm like, okay, well, I guess I'll use this time now to journal, or I'll use this time now to reflect on why I made the decision that I did and what part of me led that decision, and connect with that part and get curious with that part. So then I can use this time to connect with myself. And then from there, I feel more connected, I feel more grounded, and I feel more aligned. So now my energy has shifted. Now I can go take additional action. Right. So the energy before action comes into play when you're finding yourself just busting your head against the wall and you're just not really making a lot of progress. We want to check in with our energy. What are we telling ourselves? How are we feeling about this? Because if we're out of alignment, but we're taking aligned action, or action that's supposed to be contributing to our goals and our success, but we're feeling self-doubt, we're feeling lack of confidence, we're feeling insecure, we're feeling anger, we're feeling shame or embarrassment, and we take the action through that lens, we're going to perpetuate that emotion more.
Yeah.
So we have to take a separate action to generate a separate energy. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
And that's just connecting back to yourself. It all comes back to the question, what do I have control over right now? So ask yourself that question. If you're feeling in a funk, if you're feeling out of alignment, and you're like, gosh, I don't know, I'm not in alignment, I can't take action, I don't feel great, I can't take any action. You can. But what do you have control over in this moment to generate the energetic momentum to get you back into that feeling good, to get you back into that feeling like you're in alignment?
Yeah. So maybe that could even be some state changes, doing a little bit of workout if that's something you like, doing some happy music, dancing around the room.
Mm-hmm. You always have control over your body.
Yeah.
I can move my body right now. I can shake this energy out. I can cry. I can scream. I can call a friend. You always have control over you, right? But that's the only thing you have control over. So what can you do to help shift you back into alignment without worrying about the rest of the world? If you're worried about the rest of the world, then you're giving your power to the rest of the world. And we are of best use when we are in our power or empowered. We're not going to be of any use to anybody or ourselves if we're giving our power to everyone, saying, make me feel good about myself, make me feel better, show me that I'm in alignment. No, I have to show myself that I can take action to get me back into alignment.
Yeah. And you'll feel great about that at the end.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah. You'll notice. And it might not be a super crazy shift. And you might not be like, holy shit, I feel so amazing. But you will notice a small shift. And it might take a day. It might take 2 days to get you back to feeling really good. But just keep checking in with yourself. Okay, what do I have control over right now? Okay, that's what I'm going to do. What would feel best for me right now? What do I need right now? It's these questions that we ask ourselves to reestablish that connection with ourselves. Because ultimately, you being in alignment is you being deeply connected to yourself, to your heart, and getting out of your head.
So what are some of the things that you like to do to get back into alignment?
Like with my heart and with myself? Yeah, so I will move my body, because if we're feeling funky, if there's we're just feeling off, that's a lot of repressed energy. That's energy. If we're thinking thoughts about ourselves that just aren't helpful, then that's energy. So we got to move that energy out. That's how we neutralize energy, through movement, through sound, and through breath. So movement is really fun. So I'll go do a workout. I'll get out in nature. I will change my environment.
You do that a lot.
Yeah,
That's true.
I do.
Yeah.
I'll get out in nature and go for a walk, or just go sit outside with my feet in the ground by myself without my phone. Sometimes I'll take my phone, but I try to leave it inside. I'll journal and I'll just ask myself, what's going on? I will literally journal that question. What's going on right now? Or I'll just start journaling like, this is what's on my mind right now. And I'll just get it out. We just get it off your mind. People overthink this step. It gets to be really simple.
Are you talking about me again? What?
I'm talking about myself when I first started doing this work. And I know if I'm an overthinker, people who watch this are also overthinkers, and you're an overthinker.
Oh,
so yeah, we're like the Overthinker Academy over here. So I will just get out of my head and just get it onto paper and just literally ask, all right, this is what's on my mind right now. And I will anything that I say in my head, I will just write it out until I'll start as I start writing more, then I'll have more space in my mind. So then other thoughts can pop in, or I'll think of a question to ask myself. Or another thing that I'll do is literally just ask myself, what do I need right now? What do I need right now? What do I need to feel comforted? What do I need to feel safe? What do I need to feel calm? And sometimes that's just I need a hug from Zac. So I'll come into his office and he's like, are you okay? And I'll start crying and he'll be like, do you need a hug?
Wait a second.
I'm like, yes.
We just got a comment from Tammy. She says, yes, me too. Do you think that's about the hug, or maybe that's a delay from something earlier? Maybe she likes to journal. Maybe she likes the hug. Hey, hugs are cool.
An overthinker.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. You're an overthinker. Okay. Yeah. Maybe it's that. I don't know. All right. Free hugs.
Yeah. You would give free hugs. You would be that
overthinking.
person.
Yeah. Okay. There you go, Tammy. No, that's cool.
Yeah. So I'll do these things, and it's just reestablishing that connection with yourself. So I've given you a few examples. Please feel free to take them, incorporate other ones that feel resonant with you. Sometimes I'll text my sister or someone close to me and just say hey, I'm feeling off right now. Can I just blurt this out through text? I have to get it off my mind. If I feel like I need to be heard. And yeah, so I'll just do those things. But moving my body is definitely my favorite. Getting by myself, moving my body, getting out in nature are all really, really great ways to reestablish that connection and just rebalance my energy. And we're all energetic. So nature is neutralizing in itself. So getting out in nature is super helpful.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Heck yeah.
I needed this.
Yeah.
Yay.
And she also says she likes hugs too, but I guess I'm not going to put that up there. I'm just going to take that one right here. That's cool. Air hug, Tammy. Virtual hug. Lots of love. Cool. All right. So we got 3 good hacks now.
Yeah.
Easy, simple ones to really shift things quickly.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So then the 4th hack that everybody can try is to shift your focus from the end result to the effort, how you're showing up each day. So what can happen is we can build momentum by focusing on how close we are to that end goal. And we can tell ourselves oh, I'm doing really good because I'll just use financial goals for now. So say you want to make a certain amount a month and you're oh, I feel really good today. I made money today. So that means that I'm doing something right. So then you feel really good and you do all of the things and you're taking all of the aligned action because you've made money that day, and you're using that money as a source to prove to you that you're on the right track. All right. So that's giving our power away to that end result versus.
That's a good distinction.
Yeah. Versus shifting our focus to build the momentum through the effort that we give in each day. This could also be workout. So I'll give that example in a minute, but going back to the financial example. So instead of, did I make money today? Did I get closer to that end goal? What are the actions I took today? Did I did I connect with people that I needed to connect with today? Did I get my message out today? Did I reach out to however many people today? Did I do something that contributes to my growth today? Whatever that is. And like, this is a really good example is like with a gym. If I'm going to the gym and every time I go to the gym, I'm looking in the mirror thinking like, do I look more lean? Do I look more lean? I only feel good about myself if I'm looking lean and my clothes are fitting like loose or I have all the curves in all the right places or whatever, versus just being proud of yourself for going to the gym that day.
Yeah.
Being proud of yourself for doing something, being proud of yourself for just that consistent effort, right? So because then it's bringing our power back to us. It is being empowered from within, right? We're generating that power from within. I can't think of the word right now. But what we want to do is shift that focus, right? Because with when we're having a great day, we're having a great day. But when we're not, we're not. And it's not because we're deciding that. It's because that thing outside of us is deciding that. But when we can shift it to, did I show up for myself today? Was I consistent with this, and this in order to get me closer to that end goal? I can be proud of myself today because I did this, and this, knowing that consistency is better than some grand result of a freak something that happens one day. Right?
It's true. Yeah.
Because in the end, consistency is what's going to build that energetic momentum for you.
Absolutely.
So that's what we want to focus on. And a big contributor to this is how we think about ourselves and how we think about what we're doing. And you can be aware of like where your energy is on a day-to-day basis by the thoughts that you think. So what's like a really easy thought that you can think about yourself, or you can think about you towards your goals. You can think about your goals. That is where your energy is at right now. That's where your momentum is going right now. Whatever thought is the easiest for you to think, your energetic momentum is building in that direction. So is that helpful or is it hurtful to your desired result? Right?
Yeah.
And if it's hurtful, then how can you shift that? What can you start doing today that you can stay consistent with, that you can be proud of yourself for doing today, knowing that it's going to build? And if it's helpful, great. What can you add to your day to help boost that energetic momentum even more? Does that make sense? Let me know if that makes sense for you guys. Does that make sense for you, babe?
That makes sense. Absolutely. Yeah. A lot of times try not to focus on that end result and just enjoy the journey, right? And the end result will end up just bringing itself closer to me because of all of that.
Yeah, because you're so busy just focusing on your day to day that you don't even realize how close you're getting to the end result.
Yeah.
Then the end result's here and you're like, oh shit, you're here. This is great. Versus being so focused on the end result and you're like changing how you feel on a daily basis based on how close you think you are or are not to that end result.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Because ultimately it matters like how you feel, how you think about yourself. That's your energy before action.
Yeah, absolutely. And it just, I mean, that way we can feel happy every day as opposed to just waiting for that thing to happen once, because a lot of times when that thing ends up happening, it's almost like, all right, well, I'm already over that. Like that's not even as exciting anymore because my mind is already on the next thing that I'm trying to do. So it's like, you're never going to fill that cup up. It's just always draining out the bottom as opposed to just, hey, there's always water in there. Like, let's enjoy. And more water is going in all the time. So things are good. So calm down, body, calm down, everything. Everything is happy. And guess what? You'll just naturally end up attracting more water into that cup.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that comes from shifting those smaller things, like the thoughts that you think about yourself and you in relation to that end result, or how you feel about it, or you feel about yourself on a day-to-day basis. So you can ask, like, what's my overall energetic vibration, or where is my energetic momentum going? Ask that question. Your answer is, what thoughts are the easiest for me to think? What feelings are the easiest for me to feel right now on a daily basis? So when you answer that, then you can ask, okay, is this something that I want to continue or not? And if not, then we have to practice thinking those new thoughts so we can ask, okay, well, what would be more helpful for me to think or feel? And then how can I think or feel this more? And we have to remember that this is literally reprogramming your mind and your body. Your mind and your body like the familiar. They like what they're comfortable with. They like the known. So when we introduce the unknown, there's going to be some pushback, and it might feel challenging at first. But the more that you do it, it's like building a road. You have like, there's a little trail at first, right? Versus a highway, there's a little trail that's going off the highway, right? That's that new thought. Your highway is the old thought. But if you want to take a new route, then you have to then get the equipment to start building your road. And at first it's going to seem maybe a little daunting. But then as you flatten everything out and you pour all the asphalt, then it's like, oh, wow, this came together pretty quickly. And so it's just understanding, and you have all of these tools that you're using at your disposal, like tapping or energy healing sessions or feeling your emotions or inner child healing or subconscious reprogramming or journaling or just getting out in nature and grounding your energy, doing energy clearing so you're connecting with yourself, meditating, visualizing, all of the tools, right? There's so many to choose from. And as you use them, like when we use tools to create a new road, then it makes it easier. And then that road is established. And now it's like, okay, it's not going to have overgrowth. But at first it might have that overgrowth. And that's okay.
And the cool thing is, anyone that's here with us tonight, anyone that watches this tomorrow or even a year from now, it doesn't matter, right? You're getting those reps in. You're getting more tools. You're getting that repetition. You're getting all of that is not going away. This is all water that's going into your cup. So that's the cool thing about it, is you are making incremental changes. You might feel a little bit better after this call. That's cool. But guess what? That's going to stay with you, even if it's a smaller amount that's a little more reduced down, because you're not right afterwards in the hype of everything. It's not in the forefront of your mind. You might go to all the other things that you have to do. So your mind might go to that, but you still have the little nuggets of happiness, the little thoughts of everything. And those just build. They just build right on top of each other. So it just gets everything to be a little bit better day by day by day. So just be happy in that, right? Enjoy that. Be happy in the motion, the effort that you guys are here. I give you all lots of love and happiness, everyone, because I know you are getting better. You're showing up. You're getting a little bit better all the time because of that. So that's awesome. You know, we all are. And, you know, me even sitting here, absorbing all these things, talking to you guys about that, relating that in a way like she talks about roads. I love when she'll change what she's talking about from the more ethereal energy of everything, which is cool and scientific and fun. But when you turn it into just a little anecdotal story, like I was grinding 160 stumps last weekend, it's just, you know, different ways of connecting on that. It's making new neural pathways. It's making new neural pathways in my mind. I'm sure it's making new connections in yours and hers as well. And so we're all just getting a little bit better in everything that we do, and we're enjoying it. But we can see that the results of that because of the effort that we're putting in. We can feel that we're just a little bit better, that we're just feeling a little more in alignment to that person that we are stepping into, that future self of ours that we can see, we can visualize. They're getting just a little bit closer to us, right? It's like foggy vision. You see them in the distance. You're like, I know you're me, right? But in the future, and it's just getting a little bit closer, you know, whether you're running a little closer, driving a little closer. Yeah. Tammy loves the analogies. Booyah. From both of us. But yeah, no, it's nice because it creates those new neural pathways where it's not just like the textbook definition of this, and then you should do this here. We get some little stories that are behind it. We trick the brain is what we're really doing, is we're tricking the brain to remember things. And when you guys can pull it to your own unique stories in your minds too, that will trick your brain just to remember that. So maybe that's another hack on bonus hacks on all these things. But no, we love doing this and helping everyone out, ourselves included, I guess, is the point in all of that. So yeah, keep it rolling, babe. What else you got?
So the final hack that we're going to talk about tonight is adopting this new way of thinking about things, right? So when we are experiencing something, or we're just kind of like, we're putting in the work, we're putting in the effort, we're doing all the things, and we're like, oh my gosh, I just feel like I keep doing. Am I ever going to reap the reward, right? Am I going to get to that end goal? Is the thing that I desire going to happen? Remember, things can change in an instant. Things can absolutely change in an instant. There are so many things happening behind the scenes that you have no idea what all is going on. Like Zac and I like to talk about all of the things that had to happen for us to meet, because it is literally mind blowing. Like, he's from upstate New York in a tiny ass town in upstate New York. Like, what are the chances that he would end up
near your tiny ass town?
Near my tiny town.
Yeah, exactly. That's right.
Yeah, but he did. And he did at a time where I was able to receive him.
That's right. And at a time where I was able to receive and grow and everything with her.
Because if we would have met at any other time,
we
would not have ended up together.
No.
And so we think about, like, and he was married before, and they actually moved to Ohio because of his ex-wife, and where she got like selected for her residency. So it is literally mind-boggling when you think about everything that had to happen. And I had to meet one of my best friends, Adam, like 7 years ago. If I would have never went to this networking event, I never would have met Adam. And then I never would have been with Adam when Adam was bugging me to go to this opening for this new place in Cuyahoga Falls, where I ran into Zac and we reestablished our connection. And then we basically started, that was like the second start of us.
Yeah. And if I hadn't met a friend way back home and they weren't family friends with my dad, she wouldn't have told me that it was normal to want to run a marathon when I started doing that. Everything after the divorce, I didn't just get into running. I was trying lots of things, but then I figured out how long a marathon was. I said, screw this thing, way too long, decided to do a half marathon. But then I found this friend of mine, and she said, no, I just ran one, trained from nothing, and here you go. And if it wasn't for that, I wouldn't have ran. If I didn't run a marathon, I wouldn't have been excited by the fact that she was doing this ridiculous 4 miles every 4 hours type of thing for 48 hours. Like, so just like ridiculous running thing. And I'm like, oh, you do crazy running things too? Like, what else do you do that's a little crazy? And, and so that just piqued my interest. So all these things have to happen, but yeah, at the end of the day, it's like, boom, okay, here's the person you're going to be having a little baby boy with, and you're going to spend the rest of your life with, and be happy and do awesome things, and even be on this right now with everyone here, because that wouldn't have happened if it wasn't for all those little things. So it's funny.
So it is mind-boggling to think about everything that is going on behind the scenes that can change things in an instant. Like, when I saw him that night that I was with Adam and he was with his friend, when I saw him, like, that changed things for us in an instant. And it can be so easy to get caught up in the frustrations of everything, and, oh, this isn't working out, and the breakups and the heartbreaks and the disappointments and the failures and the jobs that we've moved on from, or we thought were going to be one thing and they weren't. And it can be frustrating. It can be so frustrating. And also, things can change in an instant with one caveat. You have to change first. And that just goes back to what we've been talking about, is the present is an accumulation of the past. So if we want something different in the future, we have to change something about our present. And it can be one thing, it can be a ton of things, but it can literally be something as simple as the overall thought that you think throughout the day, your morning routine. Just changing things up. And instead of on Tuesdays, you go into the office and you just eat your lunch at the office, you go out for lunch. Or on Thursdays, you go for a walk during your lunch. Or on a random day that you just get an urge to do something, you listen to it, right? So it can be something so small, but we have to change things about ourselves first before we can realize what is being presented to us. Because if we aren't able to, how do I want to say this? If our subconscious mind is still focused on who we've been, we're not even going to see what's ready for who we are meant to become.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah. Because you're just blinded by that person that you were, those thoughts that you had, that you're going to not even look, not even be open-minded to trying this new thing or going this new direction or taking that walk during lunch. You might meet someone, that person you could end up having a baby with. Maybe it's a new business partner, you're just chatting together, but you could, so many things that happen in this world. And I love when you say, just listen, take that urge, listen to that urge that you might have, take action on that urge. Don't let that thing just sit and fester in you. Your body knows, your mind knows, what things you want in life. Right. And so what we're really trying to talk about is of ways to get around those blocks that you have where you might not want to do that thing, or you're second guessing. It's like, just do that thing, right? Try that thing out. Like that's cool.
That's you becoming the type of person that's like, fuck it, I'm just gonna try it.
Just being okay with
happens.
It. Yeah,
right?
Because it already felt all right with you. It came from you. You wanted to do this thing. Just say that's okay. It doesn't have to be, what everybody else likes to do or wants to do. That's cool. I like free thinking. Oh man, she's a free thinker over here. Careful.
One thing that I really like, I love Jesse Itzler. He is just like a serial entrepreneur, and he's a great public speaker. And one thing that he says, he's like, I don't have a bucket list, I have a fuck it list, because life is too short not to do things where you're just like, fuck it, I'm just going to do it. Like, just do those things. And maybe your list is composed of a lot smaller things. Like, he's doing crazy stuff. Like, he just biked across the country with his friends, and he's done a bunch of like
last man standing. How long can all these ultra long people run until they all drop out dead?
Yeah, but maybe for you, it's, I'm going to go to that event by myself. That's what I did in the year of 2016 when I ended up meeting Adam. I said to myself, like, screw it, I'm just going to go to these events by myself because I have no one to go with. So I want to meet people. I want to put myself out there. So I'm just going to do it. And that year, 2016, is the year that my life totally changed. It's the year that got me on this path. And now looking back, and you're not going to realize it when you're doing it.
No.
That's the thing. You're not going to realize it when you're doing it. But in retrospect, I'm like, wow, that was my intuition talking to me. That was my heart guiding me. And I listened to it over the voice in my head saying, you're going to look like an idiot going by yourself. You're not going to meet anybody. You're going to look so silly. Why are you doing this? I met people in 2016 that helped me expand just my life personally and professionally. And I would have never done that had I not just said, okay, screw it, I'm just going to go. I'm just going to do this thing. I'm just going to say yes. If it felt aligned to my body, because my mind was screaming no. And then you do realize things can change in an instant. And that instant might be a series of moments that lead to that instant. But things can change so fast. Can change by running into somebody, by someone seeing a post on social media, by someone reaching out of the blue. But it starts with you. It starts with your energy. It starts with how you're showing up for yourself first. Everything is a reflection of you.
Yeah, do it for you. Don't do it for other people. You're the most motivating factor at the end of the day.
Yeah. So that is it. That is our 5 mindset hacks for today that we wanted to share with you guys. So we hope that you found them super valuable, and watch this again, take notes, apply one or more, all of these, and just see what happens.
Yeah. I want to hear about your stump grinding story, about your go to the networking. You met your forever type of person. You went down this path and you met this person that started you down this business. Maybe you quit your job because you had this urge and all these other things. I love those types of stories. But the thing is we hardly notice them in the moment, like Monique was saying. So you can tell me something that's happened in your past, but like, yeah, I'd love to hear a story that starts from now, right? That moves to something into the future, that creates something in the future, and that a year down the line, you're like, you know what? After this podcast, I decided to do this thing and go out and just listen to myself, and that affected everything. Because if we could affect change in something that's in your life, then holy smokes, how wonderful is that?
Imagine what you can do in your life.
Holy
if
smokes.
we can impact change in your life, imagine what you can do.
Yeah, but at the same time, something nudged them to listen to this today.
Yeah,
and
for
that's
sure.
what ends up doing it. So listen to all those things in your
Yes,
life.
for
Listen to yourself, because at the end of the day, it was you who decided to be here. You're the one who decided to click on this, to listen to us for as long as you listen to us. And so, yes, it's you at the end of the day. So celebrate you guys, because you're in charge of your lives. It's pretty freaking awesome. And they're all pretty freaking great lives. So yeah, have an awesome week. We can't wait to see you next week and every single week after that. Let's go be
most weeks.
unless she gets pregnant or
I
blah,
am
blah,
pregnant,
blah, blah,
honey.
blah. Oh, I don't know, like less pregnant then. And
Yes, you did.
anyway. All of those
I
things.
don't
I've
forget
never
I'm
been pregnant,
pregnant.
so I don't know how it all works, right? Yeah, whatever. I don't know. She just keeps getting bigger and bigger.
Unless I
Like
go
you're gonna
into
eventually
labor.
see it like start to
my
grow
gosh.
out to here, because it's damn near close already.
It is bumping into things all over the place.
Yes. Have a great week, Tammy. Have a great week, everyone. Lots of love. We love you all tons. Peace out. Take care.
Bye.
Bye.